We're proud to see that these great numbers are led by surging support from Hispanic Americans, African Americans, and young people. How about that? In the primary, we're leading the field with an average of 61% for Trump. And you have about, 7 or 8 candidates left? I think they're at a debate tonight. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody's watching. So it's 61% for your favorite president, me, and 10% for Ron DeSanctimonious, and 7% for Birdbrain. You know Birdbrain? I will never run against him. He is a great president. I will never, ever run against him, said Birdbrain. I will not run against him. He was one of the greatest presidents in the history of our country. And then about 3 months later, she goes, I've decided to run. This is the craziest business politics. They said to me at one point, who's worse, business people or politicians? And I said, because this was very early, and I said, definitely business people are worse. Then after about 3 or 4 months of Russia, pencil neck Adam Schiff. Now he's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. It's like the size of a finger. I don't know how it holds up his head, which is oversized. I don't know how it holds it up. It's like a miracle. It's an engineering marvel. Adam Shifty Schiff. But after dealing with Pelosi, who's crazy, by the way, she's nuts. After dealing with all of these people that I had to deal with the Russia hoax, every hoax that you could imagine, I called up the people that I said, and I said, I'm changing my mind. The worst people, the worst by far, are politicians. They are far worse. They're more deceptive. They're liars. They're much more disloyal. So I give the business people, I will tell you, you're much nicer and much kinder and much softer than politicians. Our nation is in very serious trouble, and it's time for the Republican establishment to stop wasting time and resources trying to push weak and ineffective rhinos and never-Trumpers that nobody wants and nobody's going to vote for. I watch these guys coming in. I had this thing, and I was watching these guys. They're not watchable. You know, the last debate was the lowest rated debate in the history of politics. So therefore, do you think we did the right thing by not participating? One of the dumber ones, he doesn't have the courage to stand up. Well, listen, I'm standing in front of tens of thousands of people right now, and it's on television. That's a hell of a lot harder to do than a debate. A hell of a lot harder. Now, I would say standing up here in this beautiful podium, you know, a podium where these stairs are not obvious enough, Biden could never get off. Now, but think of it. Here's a guy can't find or figure out a way to get off a stage with about 5 sets of stairs. I got one here, I got one there, I have one there, I have one here. And you could even jump off the front if you have to. He can't figure it out. So he can't find out how to get off the stage. And he would also, by the way, half of the times he falls. And listen. So he can't get off the stage. He can't put 2 sentences together. And he's in charge of our nuclear talks. This is the closest we've ever been to World War III. This is the closest and to World War III, and only for one reason. We have incompetent people talking on our behalf. You know, when you deal with China, President Xi, and North Korea, Kim Jong-un, and Russia, Putin, you deal with all these people. The press hates when I say they're smart. He said they were smart. Well, what am I supposed to say? They're stupid people? Kim Jong-un leads 1.4 billion people, and there's no doubt about who the boss is. And they want me to say he's not an intelligent man. They get very personal when I say that because they're fake news. That's why they do that. They're fake. They're fake people, and they're hurting our country very badly. You know, when that poll came out, I watched a certain anchor on ABC who truly doesn't have it, how they pick this guy as an anchor. And he was almost crying when he saw the numbers in the New York Times poll, because it has us up by 10, 11 points and beating Biden everywhere. With women, with everything. Women, I'm finally doing something. I always felt I did well with women because women want security, right? Women want security. Women. I'm winning with young people. I thought I'd do well with young people. Look at the people here. They're all young people. They're all young and beautiful. They're young people. Look at that. So we're doing well with every category. And this guy was up on ABC and he was saying, do you know what this means? You know, yeah, it means we're going to have strong borders, great education. You're going to be able to buy a house. We're going to have interest rates come down. We're going to have a great military. We're going to have safety and security. It means everything. It means we're going to have a country, because you're not going to have a country left. If we don't win this election, you're not going to have a country left. I'm telling you, this country's going to hell. It's going to hell. And you know it, and we know it. And I hate to say it, because it's a very negative thought, I would say. You know what? You love our country, and that's what we want. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election of 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, they indicted me. Can you believe? My father and mother are looking down, son. How did that happen? We're so proud of you, son. How did that happen? That wasn't a word that was in, but this is a political indictment. This was a Biden indictment. Even that stupid trial going on in New York, which has been totally discredited. Everybody's been discredited. That's all comes out of the White House. That's to discourage people from voting. That's to hurt us. The only difference is we have a big voice. We're a very big voice. This is the greatest movement in the history of politics. And we have a great voice, and we're not going to let them get away with it. But every time I'm indicted, I consider it a great badge of honor, because I'm being indicted for you. Thanks a lot, everybody. I appreciate it. And never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom, because I will never, ever, ever let them take away your freedom. I won't let it happen. They want to silence me, because I will never let them silence you. I will never let them do it. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way, and that's true. That's true. You know, it is true, though. When you look at these crowds, it's crazy. If we had one of these candidates, pick the best one, whoever that is. I don't know that you have a best one. Well, one of them said last week that on the stage that President Trump is the greatest president in many generations. I sort of like him. You know who that is, right? I mean, how can I dislike him? He's so nice. A lot of people say that, why are you running? Well, he said, I'm a younger version, and it's okay to say. But we want the older version, right? But that's okay to say. And you know, you got to remember, Biden's not too old. That's not his problem. He's too incompetent. He's not old. Some of the greatest leaders in history have been way over 80. But his problem is not age. They keep saying that. His problem is that he's grossly incompetent. And by the way, 25 years ago, he was incompetent too. He had the worst foreign policy judgment of any human being. And the Secretary of State said it. The Secretary of Defense said it. So they always find something. That's why they ask me, the first question they ask me is, sir, how do you take it? How do you do it? How do you wake up in the morning? How do you go through it? They're after you like nobody's ever been after you before. They're persecuting you. I said, that's okay. I do it because I love it, because we're doing something so great. It's history. We're saving our country. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me at all. And the second question I get is, will they do it again, sir? And you know what they mean. Will they do it again? Will they cheat again? Because they cheated like a bunch of dogs. Will they do it again? And we have the best everything. They're going to try. Look, that's all. You can't win elections when you say open borders, bad education, high interest rates, high taxes, tremendously big and impossible regulations, weak on every nation, not respected by anybody. The United States right now is a laughingstock all over the world. They don't respect our president. They respected me. They don't respect our president. They don't respect anything about us. And then you're supposed to win an election. They win their elections by cheating. That's what they do. That's the only way. You can't win an election with open borders. And I don't even care if they're liberal as hell. When you see people pouring in from these mental institutions and from jails, from Africa, from Asia, from all over Europe, who the hell is going to vote? They cheat like hell. And I will say it. I've been indicted for saying it. And yet they used to say that about me in 2016. The election was rigged. The election was stolen. We're going to put up a slate of electors against Trump. Tried to get me on Alabama, and I won it by like 45 points. They said he cheated on Alabama. I said I won it by 45 points. I must have cheated by a lot. And then we got millions and millions of more votes a second time. Never happened to a president. Usually a president will, if they win, they'll win with less votes than they got the first time, because people get bored. You know, he's a boring guy. I don't think I'm too boring, but he's a boring guy. I got the largest number of votes ever gotten by a sitting president, and I got the biggest increase. There's never been somebody. I went from 63 million to, I believe, over 75 million, and that's been recorded by them, not by me. How about the real number, okay? Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? Barack Hussein. But Obama got less votes the second time by a lot. We got like millions and millions and millions of more votes. I was told that if we get 63 million, the original number, we can't lose. So we got millions and more votes than that, and they stole the election, but we're not going to let it happen again. We're not going to let it. We're going to be vigilant. We're going to be there. Has Biden done anything right? Think of it. The border, the economy is destroyed. Inflation is killing. What has he done right? We have tens of thousands of people tonight. There's not one person could stand up and say one good thing they've done. I don't think they've done everything. And we're laughed at. We're just being humiliated all over the world. We have to get back. Thank you. We have to, he says, we have to get back. It's not like making a speech. We have to get back. We have to bring sanity. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're conservative. Not a question of being conservative. We're people with common sense, because it's really about common sense. It's not about you're conservative and you're this. But we're people that want to see borders, and we want to see education. We want to see low taxes. These people, you're going to have a tax increase of 4 times more than you're paying right now with these maniacs. I've always said, you have to lower taxes if you're going to be a politician. This is the only group that can raise taxes, and they make it sound like it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. And, we gave you the largest tax decrease in history, largest tax cut in history. And we were going to do something. Hialeah Mayor Steve Bovo. You know Steve? And Steve, could you come up? He said he wanted to say something. Let's hear Steve. But he's a great guy and a great mayor. Come on up, Steve, wherever you may be. Oh, he has a sign. I don't know. Whoa.
Mr. President, we're so honored that you're here in the city of Hialeah. And I told you how honored we were that we were going to do right by you, because you've always kept your promise to the residents of this great nation, and we're appreciative. And I will be asking them next week to be able to authorize and vote affirmatively as we name a street after you, Donald Trump Way.